Today in class we practiced interpreting remainders using models. So we were on page 9 in OneNote going through some of these word problems. Some of them work to use models. Some of them it might just be better to use your keep, change, flip method. The first problem here was good to use a model. Tara buys clay in a tube that's 2 feet long. She's making clay flowers. Each flower requires 3 foot of clay. How many whole flowers can Tara make from a tube of clay? She used the following model to help her. Well, here's her 2 feet long of clay, and each pot took 3/4 to make. So there's one she can make. There's another one she can make. She can make 2 flower pots. She doesn't have enough to make a 3rd flower pot. So our answer would be 2 flower pots. Let's go down below to number 3. We did this one in class. Kayla works at a bookstore. One of her jobs is take books that arrive and place them on bookshelves in the store. She has 4 shelves with a shipment of 1 4/5 boxes of the latest novel by one of Kayla's favorite authors. Will she be able to stock all the books if the shelf can hold 2/5 box of a book? Use a model to explain. All right, so if here's her 4 shelves that she has, and each shelf holds 2/5 of a box, we need to know how many 2/5 are in 1 4/5. We're trying to decide if you can do this or not. So it becomes a division problem. So we're basically taking 1 4/5 divided by 2/5. Well, we just decided to do the keep, change, flip. So over here we changed the first number to an improper fraction and got 9/5 right here. Then we changed our sign, and then we flipped the second fraction to make it 5/2. After that, we found a place we could simplify, 5 and 15. And we said 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 15 3 times. And we ended up, 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 5 once. And then we multiply what's left, well, we get 9/2, which changed to a mixed number becomes 4.5. So the question is, can all of these shelves hold the boxes? No, she would need 4.5 shelves, not just 4 like she has. Let's go to number 5. Derek is making puppets to sell at this town's annual craft fair. He's using yarn to make hair for the puppets. He has 3 yards of yarn. There's just 3 yards. And each puppet requires 4/5 of a yard to make hair. How many can he make? Well, each of these thirds have to divide into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they're into fifths, and I have to take 4 of them at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4/5. Ooh, and I only have 3 left over. So how many puppets will he be able to make? He will only be able to make 3 puppets. I could have also done the keep, change, flip. I could have started with my 3, which is the same as 3 over 1. And I could have taken 3 divided by 4/5, because that's basically what I want to know. How many 4/5 are in 3? So I could keep the 3, I could change the sign, and I could flip the fraction. And if I multiplied that out, I'd get 15/4, which changes to 3 3/4. But either way, I can see how many total puppets can I make? Only 3. Let's go to the second column here. Question number 2. Cheyenne is making friendship bracelets for all of her friends. Each bracelet requires 2 2/3 meter of thread. If Cheyenne has 2 1/3 meters of thread, how many friendship bracelets can she make? All right. So this is how much thread she has to begin with. And she wants to know how many of these are in there. So she's dividing by 2/3. All right, this time I'm not going to make a picture, but I could. Over to the side, I can make my 2 holes and then my 1/3 of a hole, right? but I'm going to leave it as it is. So I'm going to change this to an improper fraction. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7/3. I'm going to change the sign, and I'm going to flip the second fraction. And when I do that, I get 21/6, or I could simplify here to get 7/2. Either way, when I change this to a mixed number, how many times 2 go into 7? 3 times, with 1 left over. So let's go back to the question. How many complete bracelets can she make? She can make 3 bracelets. Because she can't make half of a bracelet. That won't make any sense. Number 4, Mary has a pet ferret. She bought a bag of ferret food that contains 1/4 cups of food. The maker of the ferret food suggests you feed the ferret 3/8 cup a day. If she follows the suggestions, how many days can she feed her ferret? What does she start with? She's got this much food, 1 1/4. She's trying to figure out how many of these, if she takes a scoop out each time, how many of those are in there. So she's dividing by 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to change this to an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5/4. I'm going to change my sign, and I'm going to flip my fraction. Let's see, I get 40/12, which I could simplify down. Let's see, I could divide them both by 4 and get 10/3, which then becomes 3 1/3. So how many days can she feed the ferret? Well, I can't count a partial day, so she can feed that ferret for 3 days. All about interpreting the remainder. Last one, Kelly's making sandwiches to sell at the football game's concession stand. She has 4 3/8 ounces of roast beef, and every sandwich takes 3/4 of an ounce of roast beef. How many can she make? Well, what does she start with? She starts with 4 3/8. She's trying to figure out how many 3/4 are in that. So she's dividing. We change this to an improper fraction. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 3 more is 35/8. Change the sign. We find the reciprocal or flip it. And these are some pretty big numbers, so this time I think I want to try to simplify. I see 4 and 8 can be simplified. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 2 times. That makes it manageable. And I get 35/6. How many times does 6 go into 35? 5 times. That would give me 30. So it'd be 5, 6 left over. But what I really want to know is how many sandwiches can you make? Well, this is a partial sandwich, so that doesn't count. So Kelly can make 5 sandwiches. All right, check your work to my work. If you got them wrong, that's okay. Just study these and understand how we did them. And good job.